Hi, it's Carly McAvoy. I wanted to talk about direct variation, which is when one quantity goes up or down and it causes another quantity to go up or down proportionately. For example, if you get paid by the hour, the amount of your paycheck varies according to the number of hours that you work. If you make $12.50 per hour, you'll have more money in your paycheck if you work 20 hours as opposed to working 15. The more hours you work, the more pay you get. This is direct variation, and the constant K is the amount of money that you make per hour because that is staying the same from week to week. The thing that is varying is the number of hours that you work. That we usually call X. And the dependent variable, the thing that changes as your hours change, is the value of your paycheck, which we describe as Y. So the equation for direct variation is Y equals KX. And to solve those problems, you have to figure out the constant K first. And to do that, you plug in the X and Y that you're given, and you find the K. And step 2, plug in the K and the other value that you're given to find the unknown. So it's really 2 steps, and it's a very simple formula. Here's an example. Mickey makes $202.30 when she works 17 hours. How much will Mickey make if she works 22 hours? So if she starts off making $202 for 17 hours, we would expect that she would make more money for 22 hours because we're talking about direct variation. So the first thing is, what is K? That is her rate of pay. That's what we're trying to figure out. We're going to plug in the Y, which is $202.30. That's the amount of her paycheck. And the 17, which is the amount of hours that she worked. That's called the equation of variation. And then we divide both sides of the equation by 17, and we get K is $11.90. We haven't solved this problem because we were asked how much she would make if she worked 22 hours. But what we have figured out is what her rate of pay is. Then it's very simple to go back and plug in her rate of pay times the number of hours that she plans to work. $11.90 times 22 hours would be $261.80. Sometimes rather than being in the form of a word problem, it's more of just a statement like this last example. If Y varies directly as X and Y equals 48 when X is 8, find Y when X is 2. So it's telling us that Y is the thing that's varying, and it's varying directly, which means we can use this formula as X. And you can see that Y is 48 when X is 8, and then they say, what is it when X is 2? You see how X went down? We would expect that the Y would go down too, because direct variation has a proportional effect. So step 1, find K. We're going to set up that equation of variation. Plug in the Y and the X that you were given, and then divide both sides by 8, and we find out that K is 6. Once you know K, you go back and you plug in the K and the other thing you were given. In this case, we were given that X is 2, so we plug in the 2 and the K, and 6 times 2 is 12. And that's it. All right, have a fantastic day.